Welcome back to Batman Arkham Knight. To recap, Ace Chemicals just exploded, Oracle has been kidnapped, and we just learned that Batman is infected with Joker's poisonous and mind-altering blood.
Alfred.
Oh, thank God. When the explosion... I thought you might be...
It's okay, Alfred. I managed to reduce the blast radius and prevented the toxin from spreading into the city.
But what about Scarecrow? Or this Arkham Knight character? They've got tanks, missiles, their forces are all over Gotham.
Crane got away. I was exposed to his toxin.
Good Lord, are you all right? Remember what happened at the asylum?
It's okay. I had a bad reaction, but it's over now.
I've really got to hand it to Scarecrow. I've never been a fan of his concoctions up till now, but this batch, it's intoxicating. It really brings out the me in you.
Sir, did you hear what I said? Commissioner Gordon has been trying to contact you.
Thanks, Alfred. Jim.
You got out. See, I said you wouldn't let me down.
I need to speak to you.
Sure. What is it?
Meet me outside GCPD prisoner detention. I'm heading there now.
So earlier we just heard another homage to the music of Batman the Animated Series. Of course, Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill reprised their roles of Batman and the Joker from the animated series, so I wasn't the first to make the comparison.
Alfred, analyze the militia forces, troop deployments, equipment, movements. I want to know exactly what I'm up against.
I'll perform a full analysis of the occupied forces and report back shortly, sir.
Alright, let's just pretend that we got both of those tanks with one shot. They were perfectly lined up after all.
Don't worry, he ain't catching us. So these chemicals blew up, but I don't see any giant clouds of fear gas.
Maybe it's a metaphor. You know, like, the fear toxin was in our hearts all along.
That's beautiful, man. I can't wait to see the look on his face when you tell him his daughter's been kidnapped. And it's all your fault.
I've got to go. Batman's here. What's wrong?
Jim,
Come on, you're scaring me.
it's Barbara. She's been taken.
No. I spoke to her. She said she got out. She left hours ago.
Stay calm. We'll get her back.
Which one? Who's got my little girl?
Scarecrow. They took her from the clock tower.
All right, we need to go. There could be a clue, something that will lead us to her.
I'll follow. Stay in contact.
You've got to tell him it's your fault at some point, Bats. And the great thing is, I'll be standing right there when you do.
So our next objective is to escort Gordon to Oracle's clock tower.
Jim, I need you to stay focused. It's dangerous out there. Drive slow and let me deal with any trouble.
Why did I let this happen?
There's no way you could have predicted this, Jim.
It's my job to predict it as a cop and a father. The whole thing's gone down on my watch.
So this is our first taste of music from the 1989 Batman movie, as the Batmobile drives its slowest ever so as not to overtake Jim's police car.
We got company. Who are they?
Militia.
So in a minute we're going to see an example of how the game's presentation choices can get in the way of gameplay, with hilarious results. See, thanks to this cool slow-motion focus on the car I just ruined, I've completely lost my bearings, and I have no idea where the Commissioner's car is. See, even the Bat GPS is confused. So I follow the arrows, which are leading me towards Gordon, but I'm so turned around that I'm headed straight for him. We're on a collision course. Now watch what happens.
See it. Back on our tail.
This is what happens when an unstoppable force hits an unbreakable object. Hey, at least it's easier for me to take out this second car now.
That's it. That's the last of them. We're clear.
It's too dangerous, Jim. Get in the Batmobile. I'll take us to the clock tower.
Because when you think about it, Gordon's car has to be mechanically invincible, because otherwise you'd run into some serious plot implications.
Just get us there in one piece, Batman. We're running out of time.
I mean, if his car wasn't invincible, why wouldn't he just get in the Batmobile to begin with? It's like 1,000 times safer and cooler, and those are usually not concepts that go together.
Sir, before you head to the clock tower, I thought you may like to hear the analysis of the Arkham Knight's forces you requested.
What have you got, Alfred?
I've set the Bat computer to analyze militia presence across the 3 islands and provide you with a real-time representation of the occupation's strength in each zone. As you can see, Miagani Island is heavily occupied, with a substantial drone ground force controlling the roads. Founders Island is the militia stronghold, protected by long-range radars and a missile launcher. I'd recommend keeping the Batmobile away from there for the time being. The remaining drone forces on Bleak Island have been redeployed to protect the clock tower, so expect significant resistance.
Thanks, Alfred. I'm heading there now.
So that was really just so you can see how Gotham is laid out in the game. I'm going to skip the travel back to the clock tower and... What's this? This isn't how it looked the first time we were here. And is that a young Barbara Gordon? And is she able to walk?
Colleen? Is that you again?
Wait, hold on. This had better not be another fear toxin-induced hallucination.
Candygram!
Ooh, kept that one off camera for you guys.
Oh, don't pass out just yet. Come on. Show a little spine.
Fans of Batman comics will recognize this scene from The Killing Joke. Ugh, look at young Joker's cargo shorts. It's so tacky. Wait, why am I focusing on those?
Just wait till your father gets home. He's going to be furious about all this mess.
Is that a box of keys on the ground? Why would he need those? Is that a reference to something? Okay, focus. Barbara's bleeding out, and I can't do anything about it. Because this is all just a hallucination in my head. And wait, what's that on the wall over there? This is what happens when you drag your friends into this crazy little game of ours. Well, that's not creepy at all, and whoa! We're back in the real clock tower.
Ah, nothing like a trip down old memory lane, eh, Bats? And now a front row seat to the main event. You would have thought old Jim Gordon had been through enough. First, some handsome young maniac cripples his daughter. Now he's blaming himself for her being taken. You really should tell him this is your fault, Bats. I'm sure he'll understand. I mean, it's not like you went out and got his daughter killed. Well, not yet anyway. The night's still young.
Oh, God, no.
This isn't your fault, Jim.
Of course it is. Crane's done this to get to me.
Not everything's always about you, Jim.
I should have been here.
There's something I need to show you.
We haven't got time. She's not like us.
Identity confirmed.
She's strong, Jim. Stronger than you realize.
She works for you? This is all your fault.
I will find her.
She's my family! My daughter! She's all I've got! I never should have trusted you. Never!
I guess that bat phone won't bling anymore.
I'll do this on my own. Stay away from my family.
So as Batman has alienated one of his staunchest allies, we've reached the end of Act 1. So go ahead and pretend there's a commercial break, get a snack, go to the bathroom, and in a moment we'll continue the action. And we're back.
I think that went quite well, considering. Of course, I wouldn't have told him, but that's why it's so liberating being me. You've got a lot to look forward to, Bats.
I need to find out what happened to Barbara. They covered their tracks by disabling the clock tower security cameras. If I hack the municipal CCTV system, I should be able to monitor all access points to the building.
All right, we've got a connection. Here's the CCTV footage. If you can't tell, I'm scrubbing through this footage by rotating the right joystick in a clockwise fashion. Here's some action. Let's zoom in and enhance. There's some malicious soldiers pulling up in front of the clock tower. Looks like they're waiting around for someone. Let's scan that frame.
That's the Arkham Knight. He's got Barbara. I need to confirm which car he took her in. There. That's the vehicle they took Barbara away in. Those tires are Amertec D60s. I can program the Batmobile to track their unique tread pattern. It'll lead me right to them.
So my new objective is to track the Arkham Knight's vehicle using the Batmobile forensics scanner to locate Oracle.
Oh, if I'd only had a video camera when I swept Barbara off her feet. Poor old Jimbo had to make do with a slideshow.
Entering the Batmobile from high atop Gotham City, that's something else that'll never get old.
The tire tracks will lead me to Barbara. I can use the Batmobile forensic scanner to follow them.
And so the Batmobile can be used to follow tire tracks, just like detective mode can be used to track fingerprints. So Batman's definitely good at tracking, which, in Dungeons & Dragons terms, is something that Rangers can do.
Alfred, I want the Arkham Knight's name.
As do I, Master Bruce. He has presumably chosen that title for a reason. Where do you suggest we start?
Arkham City. Go through the files of every inmate who was released following the death of Hugo Strange. And Alfred.
Sir?
They knew about Barbara. Activate the Batcave security protocols. Don't drop your guard.
So back to D&D Batman. I always pictured Batman as more of a fighter-rogue multiclass. Maybe a monk because of all the hand-to-hand combat, but definitely rogue because he's all about stealth and rope work.
Alfred, the Arkham Knight's trail leads into Miagani Island. Lower the Mercy Bridge.
One moment, sir. I should probably warn you, there's a significant militia presence ahead.
Duly noted.
I managed to access the files Miss Gordon was working on before her abduction. It would seem she found a weakness in the drones, sir. A direct hit from the Vulcan gun on their sensor array should destroy them with a single shot.
I'm assuming that sensor array refers to that little light on the top of the turrets. Once we finish these guys with a missile barrage, I'm going to try to show you what happens when you shoot at that thing.
Charge warhead, designed to penetrate the toughest armor. I've got surprises too, Batman.
Oh, whatever. Just use the main cannon.
Arkham Knight, come in. Defense is breached. He's moving onto Miagani Island.
Okay, picking the tire trail back up.
Now, Sergeant. Establish roadblocks.
Right, now that we have a couple more random drones, let me show you what happens if we hit one of those sensor array things. Boom! Critical hit.
Got him. Kingston unit offline. Damn you, Batman.
So skipping ahead a little bit.
The Arkham Knight's vehicle swerved and crashed up ahead.
Okay, we found the vehicle. Let's go take a closer look.
Car's empty. The Arkham Knight must have taken Oracle and moved on. I should examine the vehicle more closely.
This feature of detective mode where you can reconstruct a crime scene was first introduced in the prequel to Arkham Asylum called Arkham Origins.
The car veered off an empty road. Why? Looks like the driver wasn't wearing his seatbelt. I should find the body.
Even though this is a pretty cool capability, the fact that I haven't mentioned Origins until now, and in fact have made numerous references to the previous 2 games in the series, shows that I don't really consider Origins as part of the Arkham canon. That's not to say it wasn't a fun game in its own right. See, for me, Batman video games are like pizza. The best ones are absolutely amazing, but even the worst ones are pretty decent. Alright, we found something here.
Traces of pepper spray on the right side of the driver's face. Oracle must have been in the passenger seat and deliberately caused the crash. I should check the area where she was sitting.
Seriously, who puts a prisoner in the front seat with their hands free? I mean, come on.
The door was torn off during the crash. Torn cleanly off the hinges. The door must have been opened before the crash. Oracle got out.
It's a good thing there was a wooden panel there to break her fall. Now, it's good that she got out, but where's she gonna go? I mean, it was a heroic escape attempt, but it doesn't look like she really had a strategy in mind. Also, is it necessary for this crime scene reconstruction to add in Oracle's terrified grunts as she crawls away? It adds an element of realism, but it's a little intrusive. Whoa, shots fired.
Oracle stopped here. Someone took a shot at her. I should analyze the point of impact for ballistic evidence.
So ballistic evidence was the first thing we had to scan in Arkham City, although back then we had 2 points of impact to analyze, and we didn't get a full video reconstruction of when it went down.
The caliber of the weapon is a match for the Arkham Knight's sidearm. The trajectory and impact velocity points to a shooter that matches his height. At this range, he couldn't have missed. A warning shot.
Okay, so at least we know that he didn't want to hurt Oracle, so that's positive. And yep, Oracle just picked up and captured again. Now we're back to square one, and I doubt the loss of that one vehicle will set the Arkham Knight's forces back much.
I've missed something. Oracle knew she couldn't escape, but she caused this crash for a reason. She must have left a clue while crawling away.
Okay, now we're thinking. Let's just reverse the tape slowly, look closely for anything that might... There! Looks like she threw something under that box over there. So we gotta scan it real quick. Alright, back to real time. I guess we've completed our crime scene reconstruction. And the big MacGuffin is this microchip thingy. So we can plug it into our gauntlet-based computer and upload it into the Bat Cloud.
Mr. Wayne.
Lucius, Oracle left me the scrambler device at the scene of the crash. Decrypt the data so I can pinpoint the Arkham Knight's location.
This kind of thing was more Miss Gordon's specialty. I'll see what I can do, but it'll take me a little while.
I'll meet you at Wayne Tower when you're ready.
Meanwhile, in one of Scarecrow's safe houses hidden somewhere in Gotham City.
Patient note. Gordon, Barbara, session 1. Who is Batman?
Ask him when he gets here.
Thank you, Miss Gordon. I was afraid that my preferred interrogation method would not be necessary. Do you know why I wear these syringes on my hands?
Because you're insane?
I usually disperse my toxin as an aerosol. It's efficient, but not pure. Now the terror I can elicit with a concentrated dose administered directly into the bloodstream, that is beautiful to witness.
Are you done talking?
I am, but you have barely begun. You'll be incoherent when my toxin dissolves the wall between your conscious mind and your suppressed subconscious nightmares. But as those fears slowly recede, they'll take this pathetic defiance with them.
You're still talking.
Very well. Inject her. Get the fellow away from her! He's gone. Did he hurt you?
Spare me the good cop, bad cop routine.
No. See, you're supposed to keep me talking. Play for time. Wait for Batman. That's what he taught you, right?
I've got nothing to say to you.
Me? I talked for hours, because I knew, right? Batman was on his way to save me. And the bastard just let me talk. Eventually, I just ran out of things to say. So trust me, Batman likes to play the hero, Barbara, and he's pretty good at it. But it's an act. Batman's not about saving the innocent. No, he's about punishing the guilty. Now, don't get me wrong. He'll look for you, or he'll try. But when it comes down to it, when he has to make a choice between you and the mission, he'll choose the mission. Every time.
You're wrong.
Look me in the eye and say that.
How's that for a cliffhanger heading into Act 3? This dramatic audio of Oracle finding out the Arkham Knight's identity is one of the rewards you get for completing various tasks in the game. I built a homemade cinematic around it here because this is where the scene fits in the story.
Alfred, I'm heading to Wayne Tower. If we can decrypt the Arkham Knight security protocols, we should be able to track his location.
If he thinks he can hide from you, sir, he's in for something of a surprise.
So now we're unlocking the penthouse office at Wayne Tower to meet with Lucius Fox and find out what was on that scrambler device that Oracle left at the scene of the crash.
Nice of you to drop in, Mr. Wayne. I suppose you weren't really dressed for the front entrance.
Have you finished the decryption?
Fully decoded. I've downloaded all recent militia radio transmissions and their corresponding coordinates to your machine.
Thanks, Lucius. I can scan the network for the Arkham Knight's voice print and determine the location of his last broadcast.
Identity confirmed. Good evening, Mr. Wayne. Upload waveform for analysis.
Now I've waited long enough. Batman dies. Tonight.
Scanning communications for voice print match.
So we're using the Arkham Knight's voice to determine his location.
Location verified.
Got it. The Knight's transmitting from the Miyagani tunnel network.
Glad to be of assistance, Mr. Wayne. While you're here, we've been working on some further upgrades for your car. Wrote it myself when I saw what you were up against this evening. The drone virus hijacks the militia tank's weapon systems and causes them to target their allies. I'll be in touch as soon as it's ready. Now, if there's anything else you need, I'll be here all night. It's not like I could leave this city even if I wanted to.
You know, if I'd ever been curious about your identity, I would have torn off that mask years ago. I always figured the truth would be a letdown. But I have to admit, masquerading as Gotham's least interesting socialite is one hell of a cover story. The dead parents are just icing on the cake.
All this dialogue serves as a clue to solve the following riddle. The Prince of Gotham sits high in his tower, yet this picture recalls a happier hour. Now, we were told these Riddler challenges would become important later, but they haven't really shown up yet in any meaningful way.
I've traced the Arkham Knight to the Miyagani tunnel system.
Excellent news, sir.
Forget Scarecrow. It's time to face your one true nemesis, Batman.
Oh dear. Is that who I think it is?
Nigma.
Riddle me this. Why would a Batman visit an abandoned orphanage?
Eddie, sweetie, you've confused me with Robin. The big guy and I aren't all that close.
Is that a gay joke or a sidekick joke?
It's because of what will happen to his feline friend if he doesn't get here in time. Shocked, Dark Knight? Stunned? You didn't expect this, did you? That is because you are no match for me, Edward Nigma, the Riddler, and your intellectual superior. I will mock your attempts to solve my conundrums. I will stand triumphant over your bloodied corpse, and as the dim light fades for good in your tiny dullard's mind, your final thought will be how I have bested you. Come to the orphanage, detective, or she dies.
So now you can see why I named this episode after the Riddler. It's because he has Catwoman held captive, and we're gonna have to go rescue her.
Chase after your ally, Bat, if you can, through a city my army now controls. The Whiplock, you'll find her before I show you how tonight is real.
All right, riddle me this, fellas. What do you call the guy who takes down the Bat? I don't... A hero, that's what!
So this guy who's highlighted in green seems to be the ringleader.
You wanna break the Bat? Then forget Scarecrow, Two-Face, Penguin, and the rest of those punks. Nigma's the man with the plan. The riddle guy? Nah, I'm not buying it. Trust me, this guy's IQ is through the roof. You wanna catch the Dark Knight, you need to be smart. And Nigma's smarter than...
So that was an example of another new upgrade, the ability to throw batarangs while gliding through the air. The point was to knock down this guy, the green highlighted Riddler informant, with the aim of keeping him as the last unconscious so I can interrogate him. But a couple of bruises here and there won't go amiss. Instant takedown on the next to last guy. I'm gonna what? Make sure there's no one else left and then intimidate you? That's an intimidate check using strength instead of charisma.
Riddler has Catwoman. Tell me why.
I don't know anything. I swear. I just tied her up and left her inside.
Why? What's Nigma's play?
I ain't got a clue. I just brought her here and planted some of those trophies nearby. That's it. You gotta believe me.
I do.
Here's another WWE move. It's like an Undertaker-style chokeslam, but instead of putting the victim on his back, you slam him face first onto the concrete. Ugh. And there's Catwoman all tied up inside the Pinkney Orphanage and projected up on the wall there. So time to walk right into what is clearly a trap.
Batman? That had better be you, and you had better be sorry.
Keep still. Are you okay?
Perfect. What little girl doesn't dream of being bait for her strapping Dark Knight?
We're leaving.
You might be, but I'm not.
Ah, both contestants are finally here. Tonight, folks, we've got riddles galore. But first, let me introduce my beautiful assistants. I'm growing tired of my dependence upon the least useless dregs I can scrape from Gotham's utterly uninspired underbelly. Why rely on others for help when you can design, program, engineer, and manufacture it yourself?
Alright, let's switch to Catwoman so that we can experience combat from a non-Batman perspective. Catwoman has a very different visual fighting style, but she basically has the same moveset as the Dark Knight. She can strike, she can counter incoming attacks, but she can also work together with Batman to perform a dual-team takedown.
Bring it down!
And pulling off one of these takedowns automatically switches you to the other character so that you can have some variety. Now, you just saw Batman tear the head off of one of those robots, which reminds me of how in the animated series, whenever Batman fights anything non-organic, the writers would always have them die in the most gruesome way possible because the censors couldn't stop them.
What A pair you make. Together, you're just competent enough to survive it. Enjoy it while it lasts, Dark Knight. I have more in store for you than hitting things.
Catwoman can also use her whip to stun an enemy. Going for the throat.
Let's not waste any time here.
Hey, it's just violence against machines. It's perfectly kid-friendly.
No doubt you enjoyed that, Detective. It's the most fun you'll have all night. You see, Dark Knight, this feisty, felonious feline has been fitted with a shiny new collar. With each challenge you complete, you'll get one little key. Collect every key and the kitty goes free. Remove it too soon and the kitty goes boom! Well, don't just stand there, Dark Knight. Take that rocket-fueled roadster of yours and make your way to the Cauldron Train Yard. My first test is waiting.
Okay, so we've just unlocked the Riddler's Revenge side mission.
I'll come back for you. Stay here.
I'm wearing a bomb, Batman. Of course I'm staying here. Go get my keys.
It's unlike you to get caught. Was it an ambush? Blackmail? A trap?
He invited me.
What?
He said he had a job.
A job?
Of the cat burgling variety. Not all of us scamper around on rooftops at night because we want to help people. You big burling Boy Scout.
Batman, old boy, this is quite the dilemma, isn't it? Do you save the incompetent friend who got herself kidnapped, or the incompetent friend who got herself kidnapped? Personally, I'd go see Eddie's latest contrived death gauntlet. I'm sure he went to a lot of trouble. Besides, you can't save all of Barbara. I killed half of her already.
What will Batman choose? Will he attempt the Riddler's trial and free the captive Catwoman? Or will he chase after the Arkham Knight and rescue Oracle? Find out next time on Arkham Knight.